Hello, beautiful souls and co-creators. I'm Misty Faye, fairy godmother of Famistology, Soul Wisdom Healing Journeys. For more details on all that, please see my last video description. In short, I'm just a messenger, like a fairy, and we all have free will, so take what resonates and use discernment. These readings are about unconditionally accepting, loving, and healing yourself, knowing that we are all one. What you accept, love, and heal in yourself heals the collective. I'm an intuitive reader, so I may or may not use the classical meanings. I work from the spirit, soul, energetic, shamanic levels, starting with the wounded inner child. Because at the end of the day, let's face it, how many realize fully integrated, healed, and complete adults do you actually know? We all have inner masculine and feminine energies, so you can always work at balancing those, even if you're not in a relationship or having issues at a moment. It's like peeling back layers of the onion. You peel back one, you get another, or the lotus, however you want to see it. My readings are universal for all kinds of relationships. If you're in union, conflict, separation, you could switch the roles if you feel more, if you're in a masculine body and feel more inclined to feeling divine feminine, or vice versa. It's open to everybody. And all different roles in past lives, because in past lives, even in romantic type relationships that you might be in today, you were probably and could have been father-mother, father-daughter, mother-son, siblings, and all the variations on that. And lots of roles where woundings may have occurred and have been left festering for lifetimes. Also, I've been in a couple, I've been married. So just because you're together doesn't make life blissful. Even though the twin flame is is a very unique connection. There's always still work to do, and it's more real because you're mirroring each other intensely now, 24/7, not with long periods of separation. You can have fights, you can have misunderstandings, and the work is still there. Again, like peeling back onions. So if you can work on those issues together, that'd be great. That'd be a very conscious way of, wow, candle just fell down out of the pot. And blue wax everywhere. Oh my goodness. Okay. Random. You got some energies going here already. So I work with mirroring and enlightening our blind shadow areas that the other, regardless of the roles, reflects. And with universal truth that we are all one, experiencing infinite perspectives in the goal of eliminating blame and appropriating what we project often on others. You can't change another or even what you don't know. That's a very interesting thing to think about. You can't change what you don't know. Once you do, becoming wise means learning from life's experience, transmuting the elements of the wounds and lower vibrations into higher ones, then becoming love in action. So you take what is revealed in this reading. So then you can take what's revealed and make it your own, of course. But what I do to make it active and so you could actually do something and work on it on a daily, weekly, monthly, once a month, whatever basis you want, I take what's revealed in the reading and I transform it into guided meditation visualization with affirmations, because the cards have affirmations, and you can use it. So it's based on this reading to help you heal and transmute. This link will be included in the description below. What others may call the unconscious, I call the body elemental and inner child. For more detailed info about this or where I'm coming from, see the description below in my last video. I offer individualized readings, guided meditations, and other soul energy healings. See the info below. And now, even though we just had I'd like to introduce, I didn't do this last week because I was nervous. I'd like to show you that everything on this little stage that I made for myself here and my cards. The 5 elements are represented. So we have oh gosh, maybe we don't have water. Well, we have liquid in the candle wax. We have liquid in the candle wax. Um, we have then one that just spilt over there, so you can see it was liquid. Now it turned into solid. So we have alchemy happening just as we speak. I'm going to slightly move the camera this way so you can see I have a plant. Yeah, there. How's that? That's good. That's better, actually. I have the plants. I also have greenery, and in there's dirt. I made that sculpture of your heart in my hands. I have a little fairy there. I have the angel realm here. I have the mineral realm. Um, Maybe some animals will be appearing later. I have my dog in the room, so he's sleeping on the bed, and you might hear him. And then this is what I really wanted to show you. These Matryoshka dolls. They're just not here because they're cute and pretty. But let's just put them here on the middle stage so you can see them better. So these are what they call stocking dolls and Matryoshka dolls. So what I wanted to show you is it's really actually very symbolic in that this is like the inner child within you. This is the body elemental. The body elemental, very short, is your unconscious and takes care of all your bodily functions and it incarnates you with each life. This is you, your persona, the ego, your body envelope for this life. This is your soul, and this is your higher self, or if you want spirit. Isn't that cool? Those Slav people knew what they were dealing with. Good race of people. And then, of course, there's the angels there. Oh, the inner child doesn't want to. There. Okay. So today's theme is father-daughter, daddy issues. Because we could all probably relate to some degree or another. Our father is our role model for our relationships. And if your relationship with your father was challenging, and that's a very broad term, challenging for the whole, or if it was pleasant, if it was a good connection, there are always things that kind of come up and you kind of see, oh my God, I'm with my father. My father used to do that, or I love that in him because that's what my father was like. So all those things that kind of come up in the positive and the negative aspects of it, that's today. But before we go ahead, I wanted to do a little flashback. Yeah, so that's why what I always do for the themes, these cards, as you'll see, we'll turn them after they're on both sides, so it makes no sense for me to you know, shuffle the cards and pull them out. The rest of what I'm going to do besides these cards, I am going to do, so you will see me shuffle and read cards spontaneously. And some of them just have a few cards, and I'll close my eyes for the ones that have on both sides or whatever. But yeah. So that's coming up. We'll look at that in a minute. But what I wanted to show you all, well, there's two things. I did some of my own meditations, and I've worked on that, and I just wanted to share that in one of the this middle of the week, I did the meditation, and then I had a dream that I was actually confronting my parents, both parents, and something with my daughter. I won't go into the details, but it was kind of a painful experience, and I was very angry, very upset, and I realized, because last week's theme was for the divine feminine was humiliation, and I realized that experience I was dreaming about, that I was going through again, actually humiliated me to a certain degree. So that was really interesting. And then I woke up and I felt really upset. And I think I'll do a video and showing you how you can calm yourself down on basically put your hand on your heart and like on your second chakra, so a little bit below your belly button. And I just kind of gave love to myself. And then when I fell back to sleep, I had a dream about my twin flame, and he was happy in my dream. So it works, y'all. Yeah, and I just wanted to show you. So now I'm gonna the question here. We'll turn these around. So this one is I'll tell you the question in a minute, but this is the father energy, and we'll talk about that soon. That's vision. This is the connecting what's living between the two energies. This is the daughter's energy, so it's very interesting. So this, when I pre-pull, it gives me some time to reflect and kind of know what the soul energy woundings, and then it will kind of guide the rest um, of the reading. But what I wanted to share with you is to look at there's some interesting correlations between, especially look at these two. This was from last week. This was the Divine Masculines card, and this week it's Vision. And as you can see, there's a theme. It's really cute, actually. There's a theme with elemental beings and the inner child for the masculine energy, because this is father, so it's basically a masculine energy. Um, Even though women can play fathers, because I know about that. I'm a single mother, and I've had to often play being a father. Um, I just thought that was very interesting. And in this one, and with the vision, and he's looking up, the elementals are there. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I thought that was cool. Also, we could have, this is kind of interesting too. Oopla. We have for the divine, for the daughter energy, so feminine energy, and with the divine masculine from last week, we have the magician. And look what the people are doing. And plus, they kind of look alike. They both have blonde curly hair, like the little prince. I thought that was really interesting. So they're alchemizing. He's alchemizing the energy um, with the baking process, which is a kind of alchemy and transformation. And I thought that was easy, using the resources. And he's again looking up to. Look at this. He's looking up to. Even though this is for the daughter energy this week, he's looking up to just like in this card from the past life, it's looking up to that feminine energy. She's on the pedestals looking up to her. So these are really interesting themes to be looking at. And then we'll put this back. We'll come back to Mother in a second. Okay, well, that will just be down for now. This was very interesting too. The divine feminine. She had the Emperor card, who is the epitome of masculine energy, this father authoritarian coming into her own authority. So it's very interesting that this week we're doing daddy issues. So I thought that was really cool. I wanted to share that with you. I will put these cards back into their decks. So we will shuffle them in a minute. So let's get started now. Let's get started with the reading, the official reading. So this is father, daughter. So I would just like to call in spirit, angels, and the elemental kingdom guides, and ask that I become as a hollow bone, and that I may speak and act for the highest good of the collective that I serve. I call in now all that is God, source, creator, spirit, um, and through the angelic elemental kingdoms and spirit guides for the divine feminine, divine masculine archetype collectives, may we be protected and illuminated in your loving vibration. Thank you. So let's get started. So as we can see, the question when I was meditating on this card was, can we see that? All that is, please tell us, what does the collective archetypal masculine father energy want to communicate to the archetypal feminine daughter energy through his inner child? Okay, and so here it is. He wants to communicate his visionary ability. So this actually shows inner knowing, intuition. Okay, I felt like a real Jupiterian, this expansive view, this like God, like able to look at everything, be everywhere at one time and nowhere. And just that's really the positive qualities. Now the wounded side of that. Oh, here's the other thing, going back to elementals, as I'm Misty Faye. This maybe the father wants his daughter to know that he was kind of a vulnerable, sensitive kid, and as many children are, we're born open to the spiritual invisible worlds. And he may have had a secret friend. He may have been sensitive. They might have even thought when he was little he was kind of weird or eccentric because he was talking to animals or talking to spirits or had an imaginary friend, and so he had an extreme sensitivity. um, but what happened in the wounded part is that he lost that connection to spirit. Um, he became more related to a mental, very mental, overgrounded in 3D. What I see is what I believe. Very short-sighted, not that expansive energy, not that big view, the big view that Jupiter could have, um, and short-sighted, worldly, and the demands of life just kind of took over, and um, there could have been even that was, sorry to say, could have been beaten out of him, or the education programming, or we'll look at a second in the other picture. Could have even been from, again, the mother energy as well. um it's a kind he kind of became that classical men are from Mars, women are from Venus type thing, where they'll just fix it, I'll just fix it, quick, I'll just take care of it in a very grounded, overly grounded, I'm going to say overly grounded way. So, um, on the positive side, the affirmation for this is, I am clear seeing and embody wisdom, the wisdom of my highest consciousness. Hope you can see that. I'll hold that a second, but that will be in the meditation later. We'll come back to you, father energies. Let's look at the daughter energies here. And I thought this was very, very interesting. So, in this particular deck, you see it has two sides. They have mother, I think, two or at least two times, maybe three times. And this is mother on the mental level. So, I'm sensing that the the father actually saw in his daughter a lot of himself, a lot of the sensitivity, a lot of the softness, the connections to a spiritual world, to some higher force, some greater force, and and that frightened him because that wasn't appreciated in him. So what I believe it caused the daughter energy to do is to feel rejected by her father, and then she over and identified with the mother energy. So we'll do a mother and daughter one. Very interesting relationship too. um, and it's the mental aspect of the mother. So maybe this mother, I'm sensing this mother um, over intellectualized feelings. So if she had a daughter, or they had a daughter that was very sensitive or emotional or crying or expressing emotions, um, these I'm sensing in the collective that this is a kind of mother that kind of intellectualized feelings and valued being intellectual, and thinking your problems away instead of letting yourself feel. Um, so there's a sensitive child as a the daughter energy of being sensitive, maybe more like this visionary aspect of her father that he rejected, and himself. um, what I think happened is the daughter energy kind of shut down, and even shut down that real feminine energy of receptive, and kind of almost took on the mental energy to identify then with her father, that this mental energy and maybe overcompensating, um, being rewarded for her intellectual and mental capacities. And so she too, the daughter energy, this divine feminine energy, maybe in as well in relationships, you could see that maybe this it became a little bit masculinized because that energy was kind of strong. So where we also have and I asked what was the um, connecting energies. What is living between the father and daughter? What energies are living between the father and daughter? And the card is stillness. Let's look at the affirmation for the daughter first. I am the sacred child, O divine mother, who has blessed me with this gift of life. I love you. So there's probably some mommy issues too. um, that's what that's telling me. That card is very interesting. So there's either way she has mommy issues. The daughter energy has mommy issues and daddy issues, but we'll get to mommy issues later. We're talking about daddy. So this card is stillness, and what I really sense about this is that um, if in the dynamic between the father and daughter things could be peaceful and still, they would see that they were really mirroring each other in their energies, that the father saw this visionary in his daughter, and the daughter could be led by that visionary energy in her father, but something didn't happen. And what the dark side of stillness is, of course, it's peace and tolerance is the positive aspect, but the negative heavier aspect is um, um, impatience, rage, anger, uh, snappiness, tension. Maybe there's high blood pressure, that kind of thing. Maybe there's high blood pressure issues or heart issues, and stress and tension. Um, Irritated, wound up, um, and men aren't masculines weren't always allowed or wasn't considered manly to express your emotions. So guess what they do? They just like turn them inside and push them down. And so that's why it came up with rage and irritation. And there's also the positive thing is that if these two energies could have patience and tolerance and timelessness, that everything, there's divine timing in everything. So that's an interesting thing to keep in mind with this. The affirmation is, I am I am the stillness of my soul and feel the timelessness of all creation. So what I think happened, this is how I determined, I already said the word, I believe that the soul wound functioning for the daughter energy, I hope you can see that, is rejection. And so she escaped into that mother intellectualized feeling type energy. And I think I'm sensing that the daughter energy felt a lot of panic and fear because there might have been um, bits of rage and anger coming out of nowhere and cause her to panic and maybe feel some anxiety. And so we've already seen this daughter energy doesn't actually know where and who to place herself with. Okay, so she had her biggest need is to belong and fit in somewhere with one of those, the mother, father, and somewhere within that dynamic. But being if she's this has the sensibility that was then for the father energy, we had rejection. I'm sorry, injustice, and that, like I was describing before, was um that hardening, overgrounded, really 3D, only 3D. That's I see it to believe it kind of thing. There was coldness. So obviously, if there was cold or cold to feeling or coldness to feeling, and they developed a rigidity and kind of a inflexibility, hardness. Okay, and so the injustice that a lot to hold here. I'm gonna put this down. The injustice that the father energy felt was that whatever his life path was, whether there was abuse in his family and there was beating or some beat it out of him. Life beat it out of him. His connection to source. He felt an injustice. So all his life he lives needing the freedom to find that inner intuition, that inner guidance, that connection to a spiritual world. So that is what the inner children are saying in terms of the archetypes. So Spirit, all that is, can you please tell us which, I'm going to shuffle for you, but you see the cards up. I'm going to close my eyes. Can you please tell us, so you're going to be able to see before me. Can you please tell us which energy center is most affecting the collective father energies, please? How perfect is that? It's the third eye, the ajna it's called in Sanskrit, and it's for vision, and it's ether and light. Isn't that amazing? You saw, maybe you saw it, but I was not looking. I promise. I promise I was not looking. That is so cool. So that is the chakra that, of course, is most affected. He's disconnected from his third eye. So now I'm going to shuffle the rest of them. I am not looking. I swear. Spirit, all that is, Creator Source, can you please tell us which energy center is most affecting the daughter energies, please? The sacral chakra. Again, we had this is a repetition. So it's really her creative centers. And hey, we're going to get into something maybe sensitive here. There's the sexual energy as well. It's where the kundalini comes from. And it's element of water. We'll get to the elements a little bit later. So that is very interesting. I'll tell you about all the cards. They'll be listed in the description below. But this is from the Finhorn. The Finhorn cards. Finhorn is a place in Scotland where they work consciously with the elementals. So, what I'd like to do, this is a kind of different, is get these cards are from lonerwolf.com, and actually I made them. they're handmade, not handmade, so you can download them yourself. They're inner child cards. So what advice, all that is, Spirit, Creator, Source, does the inner child affirmation cards, what can it tell us about the father energies? What do you want us to know even more deeply about the inner child wounding or the inner child gift that's coming through for the father energies? I have tiny hands, so I'm not like the best shuffler of things. That's why I'm kind of picking like this. And my angle isn't great. Whoops. Oh boy, we just lost a whole bunch. But maybe we'll consider those the cards. Let me see if I could get them with my foot. I can. I can. And it's sensitivity. How beautiful is that? And it says, it's very small, so I'm going to pull it towards me. I honor my innate sensitivity. I create clear personal boundaries. Yeah, so if you have to create personal boundaries, this father energy, and it's probably is more common than we think. There was probably a lot of physical or possibly sexual abuse. Okay, so if it's inner child saying about my boundaries and the sensitivity that these masculine energies are often born very sensitive and open. Just anybody could be. Children in general are born very open, and then they lose that. They lose their connection to the divine world and the invisible world. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. That's the first one I got. I have the other one, but we will shuffle it again. So please tell us, all that is, Creator, Source, Spirit, what can we know and learn about the the energies for the daughter connection. I'm just going to pick like this. And the card is, or there were two that came out here, so we'll look at the two. Oh, beautiful. Self-sabotage and creativity. And we have a beautiful connection, a beautiful message from the inner child about creativity. This, the inner child, could be a he or she, who knows, is a body elemental, really would like the daughter energies to develop her creativity, and maybe her creativity in terms of her connection with her father. Maybe there's something that could come out of that. Let me see what the affirmation and self-sabotage. Yeah, well, we saw that. What else could the daughter energy do when she is rejected by her father, and then the mother energy wasn't really welcoming for her emotions and her sensitivity? So obviously herself was sabotage. Let's read what that says, because I have to pull it into me so I can see. I understand that all misbehavior is a cry for help. I forgive myself and let go of blame. And then for the creativity, creativity is the way I share my soul with the world. I love my inner artist. Ah, beautiful. I don't know if I can still see those. So, moving on to our next category. So I will also put lonerwolf.com. It's a great site about inner children and healing things, and they offer a weekly, not a magazine, but a online. I'm not thinking of the word. You know what I mean. Um, so yeah, we talked about the soul woundings. So we having already some beautiful messages from the inner aspect of the child, and things that what the daughter energies can do in terms of healing this is develop the creative, write about it, sing about it, um, make films about it, um, laugh and cry and emote, and allow that all those energies to come up and come out, and for the father to recognize the sensitivity in spite of the coldness that the daughter energy felt towards the father, and that this loosening, all that, allowing that sensitive, vulnerable aspect, that connection, redeveloping connection to the invisible world. So yes, so now we're going to look at what are the we're going to look at the past lives that may be affecting the father. These are the Akasha Tarot, Klinger and Taylor. I'm sure you've seen some of these already. I'm going to shuffle them. So we already saw last week. There's a correspondence happening this week. There's a beautiful link between last week's reading and this one, and some of the cards in the past lives. I'll try to I don't know if that's the best idea. I'll just kind of intuitively pick here. Oh, this one is calling me. We have the garden. So this was for the father energy. So the question is, what spirit can you tell me about the past lives concerning the father? And this is already, we have another picture with children. Okay. And all that is spirit source, please tell us what you can tell us about the past life energies concerning the daughter's perspective. I got something here. Bird's nest. 3 of Forces. I'll rearrange that in a second. And Spirit, please tell us about the possible past lives together, or how this all comes together. Please show us. Going here. Divine Physician, number 6, which is, I believe, the Lovers. Okay, so what am I picking up here? Already, that was the other thing I was picking up. I think concerning maybe the father-daughter connection in this life now. I think I also sensed from the reading that the father energy just didn't know how to deal with feminine energy, didn't know how to deal with having a daughter. Okay, either he had all brothers, or he was the only child, or bad impression of his mother. Just didn't like it or have to deal with it, or that reminder within himself of that sensitivity, that reception, that intuitive, that creativity within himself, rejecting that as well. Because when we reject others, we're first rejecting ourselves. So what I'm picking up is that in a past life, they look like quite well-to-do children, and they're in a beautiful garden. I'm picking up that he maybe had a close connection with his sister. Okay. Well, this just popped in. I'm not going to censor. Maybe there was even something incestual. I don't know why it popped into my mind, but it did. Okay. So let's look at the other energies first, and we'll go on. So this this is the Three of Forces, which is this is the Three of Wands. So this is kind of a passionate building, this nourishing energy. We have this is bird's nest. The robin is one of the first birds that comes out in the spring. And what I'm sensing from this, we just have an animal in this thing, but I'm really sensing that that the daughter energy probably had a past life where she was definitely put in the place of nurturing, and by herself, having to provide for her little hungry birds there. And so and maybe not even having the support of masculine energy. And so she's kind of used to being the nurturer, the provider, really working with the bird world. The bird world, the roles are pretty clear, but she's doing all that stuff, and she built this little nest, and she was strongly into the protective energy. We'll see what else comes. That's why I like also to pull the Akashic cards with these, because it gives me more time to think about past lives. I'll come back to that. And so then we have Divine Physician. What I'm getting here, I'm really picking up clearly, like, I don't know if you all know about the Cathars, but they were and they were a religion, I believe, or a spiritual path that was strong in the end of the Middle Ages, and women had a really strong role. It was supposed to be bringing back the original messages and of Christ, and I'm getting that there could have been a past life concerning that the father and the daughter were together in a life where they were healers, or they were part of the Cathars. Unfortunately, the Cathars, because they spoke the truth and they were trying to bring the truth of the true message of Jesus Christ. They brought a new wave of like this. Apparently, it's supposed to be very artistic and very creative, but because everybody was kind of almost saying, "Wow, but this is a cool way," the Catholic Church, of course, got involved, and there was like a crusade, and they're basically burned, and all the books about them burned. So anything about them today. There's some history about them, but it's mostly been abolished. So I'm really sensing that that somebody who has the healing energy, they have to have a pretty good open um, um, third eye to heal, and that we're seeing the light coming through. So I have a feeling there could have been a past life with this father daughter energies where they really work together as healers. All right then. Moving on. So now we're moving on to the I explained that I use the major arcana because it's the soul lessons and soul gifts or lessons. So all it is, spirit, creator, source. Please tell us. I'm gonna shuffle here in front of you. Please tell us what soul lesson gift is there concerning the father energies. What soul lesson is there concerning the father energies? I'm going to shuffle down here too. Because I added the other two cards before. I just want to make sure it's shuffled well. Please show us what we need to know about the father energies. The sun. Wow, we're having some interesting stuff coming through here. Interesting links. Let me just put that there for now. And please tell us all that is Father, Creator, Creator Source. What do we need to know concerning the soul lesson and gifts for the daughter energy? We have the Judgment. Okay. So, starting with the father. So the son. So there was this. Did you show a little? Showing a little boy. That's showing. There's the little boy in this thing too. So there is this kind of everything. This light, this luminous energy, the soul lesson is to let that inner child ray forth, is what I think, in the sense that let that goodness, let that benevolence come through, let that the light of consciousness come through for to heal the wounded energies of the father. So that's very interesting. And so now we have Judgment. We also this is the Carl Jung card. We have in the Judgment card this coming the masculine energy. Maybe it's kind of coming to this decision to within herself, the daughter energies within herself to really finish the have the judgment be made in connecting her own and healing her own masculine energies to balancing, maybe having more balance instead of being the lone the lone wolf who does everything by herself, but to have the balanced energies within herself of the masculine energies, and to allow that to combine. Oh blah. Yeah, and so we have this also this theme here with the self sabotage. Is the art has did the daughter have the daughter energies um separated herself? Did she create the division within herself that she needs to unite and finally get that all together? So, as I did it in the last time, I have to check in my little book. I have my mystical shaman oracle that I have put together to go with each of these cards. So it takes me a little time. That's why I like to do this in advance. Um, so I'll just let you know what the cards are. Then we'll look at the medicine energy later. So what we're looking at here, I'm trying to find it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm having a hard time finding them, but I will. So I have organized my these cards to connect with um, cards that seem very similar in this deck. Sorry, I have my hand in the way. In this deck, based on the four directions. So the serpent, the way of the hero in the south, and the earth. I'm trying to find it. Judgment. Okay, judgment. We have certainty. So if this is judgment is in the way of the Jaguar, of the warrior. So we have the warrior energy of the west, and the practice as on the shamanic path is the practice of certainty. So that is card and the rainbow. So the rainbow. So that is that card. And we will read the medicine about that later, but it's relevant to the judgment card. And then now we're looking for what to go with the sun. And I'm having a hard time finding it. I don't want to waste too much time. I'll come back to it if I have to. Oh, it's okay. It's the eagle. So the eagle, it represents the way of the teacher, the sage, the magician, and the east, and fire. And it's the eagle card. So I will find that. And I will talk about yeah, I think maybe next time I will have these pre-pulled. So it's an eagle card. That's very interesting. It's kind of this lifting up for the father energies, this lifting up towards spirit. That again, the eagle represents this Jupiterian energy, this grand vision, this greater perspective. So this is strong in the father archetype energies, and so the masculine energies. Thank you, Spirit, for that. Next, we will talk to the elements. So, dear collective body elemental, in light of the inner child and Akashic past lives, please tell us which element is most predominant. So I'm not going to look again, but you get to see for the father energies. Please tell us which. There's only 5 cards, so you're going to see it before I do. Fire. Yes. Yes. Fire. light some fire, some warmth to the coldness. Thank you. And now please tell us, collective body elemental, what is the predominant element that the daughter energies needs to hear and work on? Ether. This week it's ether. The love energy. The fifth element is love. Is the synthesis of all the elements put together to be creative. So thank you for that. Now we will pull out the fairy cards. You all see that? Let's just organize this a little bit here. Okay. These are the fairy tarots, Radley Valentine. I will shuffle them. They're also big cards. I will do. I think I just shuffle them a few times and maybe just pick randomly from the deck. So please tell us, air fairy, elemental world, what messages do you have for the father energies? I'm just going to pick from the middle here. Awakening, 12. Oh, it's the hangman. Change the way you're looking at the situation. Embrace your uniqueness, a temporary pause in action. So what the fairies want the father energies to know is it's time for healing, to change his perspective, to go more towards this bigger vision that he once had as an inner child. There it is. It's go back to his childhood innocence. Okay? Create that vision. Have a new vision, new way of looking at things. Beautiful. Thank you, fairies. It's perfect. So please tell us, what energies do you have for the daughter energies, fairies? Please tell us what you have to tell us to counsel the daughter. Let me see. What am I drawn to? This one. Three of Spring, which is the Three of Wands. That's a nice dynamic energy. Plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Have patience. Didn't we hear about patience already? Where did we hear about patience? Here. Patience. We did in the stillness. That when we're not patient, we get angry and frustrated and irritated. So this is very good. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. So this is also good, a good synthesis of what is coming through for the daughter energies. That she probably picked up from her father this kind of irritation and angry and in terms of her true essence and her true connection and intuition. And so there's probably a tendency to get a little bit frustrated and have patience and let things come to fruition as they will do naturally, but it's also to develop bit by bit, step by step, her creativity. Please tell me about the connective energies, fairies, the union. What advice do you have that will help heal the father and daughter energy in the collective? Five of Summer. Five of Summer is Five of Cups, and it's water, the water element working. Trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotion of others, focusing on that which frightens you or worries you. Yeah, I think for healing to occur, there's between the father-daughter energies, I think what we can sense is that um, there's needs to be a trust building between the two if there was anything broken. Um, and maybe all the that was negative that transpired, maybe if both can um, release that pain and that past, that would clear the way for healing between them. And doing work like this will naturally heal, whether your father is still with you or not. This, you can heal this energy. So letting go of the negative memories, cutting the cords with that. Um, Next, moving along quickly here. So now we're going to use the Finhorn plant cards. Okay, these are littler. So what I could do with these. So especially the elemental realm, the gnomes that work with the plants and the earth and growth. Please tell us, what can you tell us about the energies for the father and daughter um, archetypal collective? I'm just going to pick out 5-1. We got Garden Pea expression. We got Wintergreen. We got alignment. We had that the last time. We had Golden Iris, fidelity. And then the final card, the blossoming, the result is resourcefulness. Okay. So, what I'm seeing here, there's maybe been some difficulty with these father-daughter energies of reconciling, expressing. I think both had it expressing truly who they really were, their true essence. So that's the seed that's planted that's going to change. And on the side of the father energy, it says, with gladness, the wintergreen. I gladly embrace the challenges life brings. I'm positive in myself. Yeah, so this goes back to the beginning where, you know, too much rooted in that 3D groundedness. This changing, shifting that energy, and just all challenges are learning, all things. We don't have to just block ourselves off and block off the joy of learning and the challenges that it presents us in 3D. And then I believe this is I forgot what it's called in the plant. This is the stem. No, this is the growth. Sorry, this is the growth. I align with the spirit of abundance and have faith in all my needs are met. Yeah, so one of the needs that the daughter energy really feels is belonging. Belonging, belonging in this space, belonging and being loved and accepted for exactly who she is. Okay? So when she aligns that who she is divine essence, and that all she has all the power and creativity within her already, then the relationships naturally heal and will come together. Then for the stem, we have fidelity, faith. What did we just hear about faith somewhere? I stand in the light of truth. I am the truth to my. I am true to myself. This has to be. This is a great thing for both the being true to themselves, being true to that vulnerability, being true to um, the the creative intuition, to that receptive energy, to that undistorted feminine energy that's in receptivity to all that is. And then the result, the result is Resourcefulness. Yeah, so we have this theme that this can be a really creative collaboration. This could be really healed when we pull on the resourcefulness of our inner intuition, of our innocence. Okay, where our abundance is. The result of putting all this will grow into a beautiful creative endeavor and connection. And finally, I'd like to read the shamanic, at least that's the medicine. I won't take up too much time. For the daughter, it was the rainbow. So they're quite long, so I can't memorize them. Sorry about that. There's lots to memorize in all these readings here. So bless all the readers who have all that down pat. So the medicine for the rainbow. So the rainbow symbolizes the 7 steps of a true spiritual path. It's an affirmation that all is well and that you are in the right relationship with spirit. That's so beautiful for the daughter energy. So this is feminine, the feminine aspect, the feminine role. The medicine. Don't get caught up in the pursuit of the illusion of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Find the treasure now in the moment by coming into right relationship with those around you. All your gifts are at hand, so obvious you may have missed them. Be true with your intentions and do not be led astray by daydreams. So what I'm feeling from this, the medicine of the rainbow, is to make, before moving forward in creative projects and other relationships, perhaps with masculines, maybe there's still some healing to do in terms of the father energy for the daughter. That's what I really feel about that. This is a positive card. And then for the eagle, number 16. There is a beautiful, you're going to know how old I am, beautiful song by John Denver that my parents used to play about the eagle. You could probably look it up on YouTube. It's cool. So the eagle comes from the east, the place of the rising sun, and that's what we have. Oh, this is so cool. The sun, and it's linked to the fire element. She soars high in the sky, sees the smallest detail with clarity, without losing track of the bigger picture. Yeah, because in the dark side of visionary, there was over attention to details, details, 3D, this, that, and the other thing, and this is keeping me, and that's keeping me in this detail, and all the other things. So the medicine is, it is time to see through the eyes of eagle. Let your vision of the whole and of its parts become laser-like, and set your priorities straight. What did you come to do in this life? Did you come to climb the ladder of financial and social success? Just like so many masculines, especially now and then. um, did you come to become a better person? To heal your heart and to realize your essential self? Oh, this is beautiful for the father energy. What is your divine mission here on earth? Your divine mission. No more excuses. Of course, you do not have enough time, enough money, or enough sleep. Yet the time is now to fly to your chosen purpose. If you postpone it, you are betraying yourself. Oh, because the other soul wound is betrayal. It could have been betrayal, yeah. Look through the eyes of the eagle and consider every obstacle an opportunity. Where you set your intention, is where you'll end up. Free yourself and live your highest destiny. Fly. That is so perfect. That medicine is perfect for the father energy. Widening his vision, connecting to spirit. The sun, of the rising sun. And the sun, of course, in English has SON or SUN. Okay, look at that. Maybe reconnecting with his own, again, the inner child, or that, where his essence, maybe when in his childhood, where this energy to fly with the fairies, was lost. Beautiful. Couple last things. to bring in some of the angel energy, I decided to use today. My cards are everywhere. The unicorn. This is the unicorn cards by Diana Cooper. So unicorn angels, what parting advice do you have for the father-daughter archetype collective? I'm just going to do like this. Help. The help you need is on the way, so keep watching for it. So what I'm getting from this is, it seems like this seems I think the help is coming to heal this father-daughter, if there was healing to do through this realization, through this consciousness that we now have of maybe if there were difficult energies within the father-daughter connection that are now reflecting um, in our relationships, whether it be with a divine counterpart or a soulmate, or even with our own father, if we could still work on healing that, or with even with our even with our sons, if we're mothers of boys. So the help is there. So it's to be called on. And finally, the universe has got your back. Gabriel Bernstein. So tell us all that is. How does the universe have the back of the father-daughter archetypal connection in the collective? Oopla. I find deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. Yeah. So even though this isn't easy, maybe it's not going to be easy to create those openings, or maybe there's so much water under the bridge with the father-daughter relationship. The healing, again, my whole approach is heal yourself, and that work with that discomfort, work up with those things, have the courage to work with those things that come up. The healing will come, the help will come when you ask and you make the effort to sit with some of that and cleanse it. Like I spoke about my dream, it was really painful. I was reliving in my dream. Was it a nightmare? I was reliving in my dream, but I let those emotions come up, and I let myself also. I think I was expressing anger. We have anger that I felt maybe from my father, or the anger of being rejected, and from last week's theme, it was humiliated. So allow those feelings to come up, and I kind of say that in the meditation. Allow that to come up, and again, use the hand on the heart technique, and on the below the belly button, to calm yourself. Always be in a calm state. So this there's lots of beautiful things that has happened. I think this is a great place to work from. Coming back, daughter energy coming into her creativity, this opening up towards returning to his innocence, returning to the vision and the connection that he had, drawing upon the expression to say how we feel, to say what has been deeply, even if you're saying it in a journal, even if you're going through it through a guided meditation. So my co-creators and beautiful souls, I salute the divine in you. I wish you a beautiful week. Look for the link to the guided meditation. There's also lots of other people doing great guided meditations. I found them really helpful. I'm going to listen. And there's great readers who are also bringing very similar things up in their things. This gives you a lot to work with. A lot. You could go back and if you find things, for example, in the past lives, maybe there's other things. It's kind of hard spontaneously. I did connect before, but I just came through. So if things come up, um, you know, and it makes you uncomfortable, okay? If it makes you uncomfortable, that's a good sign that that's up for change, okay? So many blessings. May you be blessed with beauty and love and wisdom and um, and joy and bliss in all that you do. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye bye.